Eldoria was a land of wonder, a place where the impossible became possible and dreams took flight. Magic flowed through its very veins, weaving through the ancient forests that whispered secrets to those who would listen. Sparkling rivers held ancient magic, their waters shimmering with the power of ages long past. The people of Eldoria lived in harmony with nature, understanding the delicate balance that sustained their world. They respected the balance between technology and magic, blending the two seamlessly to create a life of wonder and innovation. In the heart of Eldoria, nestled among the towering silverwood trees, lay the village of Willow Creek. This was Lyra's home, a place filled with enchantment and mystery. Lyra was a curious girl, always eager to explore the wonders of her world. Her adventurous spirit led her to the farthest corners of Eldoria. She loved hearing stories of Eldoria's past, tales of heroes and magical creatures that roamed the land. One day, while exploring the attic of her grandmother's cottage, Lyra stumbled upon an old chest, covered in dust and forgotten by time. It was tucked away in a dusty corner, hidden from sight. Curiosity bubbled inside her, urging her to uncover its secrets. She had to see what was inside. With a determined look, she approached the chest. Lyra lifted the heavy lid, her heart pounding with anticipation. The chest held a beautiful crystal shard unlike anything she had ever seen. It pulsed with an inner light, casting a mesmerizing glow that filled the attic. Lyra was drawn to its magic, feeling a connection she couldn't quite explain. Little did she know this was the Shard of Echoes, an artifact of immense power and ancient origin. It was an ancient artifact of immense power, a legendary crystal shard that held the key to Eldoria's deepest mysteries and greatest adventures. The Shard of Echoes hummed with energy. Lyra held it close. She felt a surge of power. Suddenly the room went dark. A cold wind swept through the attic. Lyra was afraid. When the light returned, a figure stood before her. It was tall and menacing, cloaked in shadows. This was the Shadow Lord. He had been imprisoned long ago. The Shard of Echoes was the key to his prison.
Foolish girl, you have released me.
Lyra knew she had made a terrible mistake. She had to set things right. She had to stop the Shadow Lord. Lyra knew she couldn't fight the Shadow Lord alone. She needed help. The darkness that threatened Eldoria was too powerful for one person to handle. She had to find those who would stand with her, those who believed in the greater good. She set out on a journey to find allies. Her path was fraught with danger, but her determination never wavered. She knew that somewhere out there, others shared her desire to protect their world. Her grandmother had told her stories of ancient beings. These tales, passed down through generations, spoke of entities with immense power and wisdom, who once roamed the lands of Eldoria. They were said to be powerful and wise. These beings had the knowledge and strength that Lyra needed to combat the looming threat. Her first stop was the Whispering Woods. The forest was known for its ancient magic and the secrets it held within its depths. There she met a wise old tree spirit named Willow. Willow was a guardian of the forest, a being of great age and wisdom. Willow had felt the Shadow Lord's return. The disturbance in the natural order was something she could not ignore. She agreed to help Lyra. With Willow's knowledge of the ancient ways, Lyra felt a glimmer of hope. Next, Lyra traveled to the Crystal Caves. The caves were a place of wonder, filled with glowing crystals that held the essence of the land's magic. She sought out the Crystal Guardians. These warriors were the protectors of the caves and the magic within. They were fierce warriors who protected the land's magic. Their skills in combat were unmatched, and their loyalty to Eldoria was unwavering. The Guardians, led by the stoic but kind-hearted Ronan, also sensed the growing darkness. Ronan's leadership was crucial in rallying the Guardians to Lyra's cause. They pledged their swords to Lyra's cause. With their strength and Lyra's determination, they formed a formidable alliance. Lyra, Willow, and Ronan, an unlikely trio united by fate, were ready to face the Shadow Lord. Their bond was forged in the fires of necessity and hope. Their journey to save Eldoria had just begun. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, united in their quest to restore peace and light to their world. Their path was fraught with danger, every step a test of their resolve and unity. The Shadow Lord's minions roamed the land, ever watchful, ever menacing. They tried to stop Lyra and her friends at every turn, their sinister presence a constant threat. Lyra, Willow, and Ronan faced each challenge with courage, their hearts steadfast and their spirits unyielding. They learned to rely on each other, their bond growing stronger with every obstacle they overcame. One day they were ambushed by shadowlings, creatures born of pure darkness and malice. These were creatures of darkness, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. They were under the Shadow Lord's control, driven by his malevolent will. Willow used her magic to hold them back, her spells weaving a protective barrier. Ronan fought bravely, his sword a blur of motion. Lyra realized she had to be strong, her determination hardening like steel. She discovered a hidden strength within herself, a power she never knew she possessed. Through these trials, their bond deepened, their friendship becoming an unbreakable force. Lyra learned the true meaning of friendship, understanding that it was more than just companionship. Willow taught her about patience and wisdom, guiding her with a gentle hand. Ronan showed her the importance of courage and loyalty, his actions speaking louder than words. They were more than allies, they were friends, bound by their shared experiences and mutual respect. As they journeyed, Lyra discovered more about herself.
I learned about my family history.
Her grandmother had kept a secret.
I was descended from a long line of protectors.
They were known as the Lightbringers. They were chosen to defend Eldoria from darkness.
I also possessed a hidden power.
It was the power of light. This power was awakened by the Shard of Echoes.
I began to train with Willow.
She learned how to control her powers.
I would need all my strength to face the Shadow Lord.
Lyra's destiny awaited. She was the last of the Lightbringers. The fate of Eldoria rested on her shoulders. The Shadow Lord's power grew. He spread fear and darkness across Eldoria. He wanted to plunge the land into eternal night.
I knew I had to act fast. I had to confront him.
She gathered her allies. They marched towards the Shadow Lord's fortress. It was a place of dread. It was called the Shadow Keep. The fate of Eldoria hung in the balance. The final battle was about to begin. The battle raged. Lyra, Willow, and Ronan fought bravely. They faced the Shadow Lord's minions. The fate of Eldoria was at stake.
I knew I had to face the Shadow Lord. I had to defeat him.
Lyra fought her way to the heart of the Shadow Keep. She stood before the Shadow Lord. He was more powerful than she imagined. He attacked with shadows and darkness. Lyra fought back with her light. The battle raged. It shook the very foundations of Eldoria.
I knew I couldn't give up. I had to protect my home. I had to defeat the Shadow Lord.
Lyra raised her hands. She called upon the power of the Lightbringers. The Shard of Echoes pulsed with energy. A blinding light filled the Shadow Keep. The Shadow Lord screamed in agony. He vanished into nothingness. The darkness lifted. With the Shadow Lord gone, his fortress crumbled.
Peace returned to Eldoria. The land began to heal. I had saved my home. I had fulfilled my destiny.
The people of Eldoria rejoiced. They hailed Lyra as a hero. They rebuilt their lives. They entered a new era of peace and prosperity. Lyra knew her journey wasn't over. The Shadow Lord was gone, but evil could rise again. She made a vow. She would protect Eldoria. She would be its eternal guardian.
I returned to Willow Creek. I continued to train. I honed my skills. I was ready to face any threat. I would be Eldoria's champion. I would defend it with my life.
And so, Eldoria entered a new age of peace and harmony. The memory of the Shadow Lord's reign faded into legend. But Lyra remained vigilant, her heart forever tied to the land she had sworn to protect. She knew that as long as the spirit of the Lightbringers lived on, Eldoria would be safe.